If you are looking for a job abroad, you are in the right place. Welcome to Start Your International Career, your guide to finding a job abroad. In this episode, we have Claudia Garcia, an event manager who is currently working and living in Switzerland and is originally from Spain. Claudia, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. You are currently living in Switzerland, but you have lived in many different countries, so I'm sure your experience will be very helpful to people who are looking to move abroad. But before we go into that experience, can you briefly explain what do you currently do at your job and what did you study?
Sure. Well, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you or meet you. My name is Claudia. I'm 28 years old. I come from Spain. I studied journalism in my bachelor's and advertising in my master's. And since 3 years ago, I work and live here in Zurich, Switzerland. I work as an event manager in a clean tech company. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for the introduction. When you say a clean tech company, can you elaborate a bit on that? What's clean tech?
I mean, in my case, I work in this super exciting company that has developed this very breakthrough technology that actually filters the CO2 out of the air and transforms it into rock forever. So this way, the CO2 cannot contribute any longer to global warming.
So it's removing pollution from the earth,
exactly.
basically.
Yeah, which is super cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a very nice purpose to have.
Okay, clear. Then you studied journalism, you said, so now you work in the events area, so doing communications for your company, which makes sense. And why did you want to move abroad in first place?
I mean, my first experience moving abroad was very short. I was maybe for 1 month in the UK, and that was actually when I was 12 years old. I was in my high school, and I was lucky that I had this English teacher that really encouraged us to travel, to experience different cultures, and that's how I kind of moved abroad for a short period of time. I was very small, but yeah, I guess curiosity was the ingredient for me to go abroad.
That's a big one, yeah. I think everyone who moves abroad, or at least a big majority of the people, are in some way driven by curiosity.
Exactly. And I'm incredibly grateful. I mean, not only to my parents, but also to this very particular teacher, Catherine, who really opened this new world to me. I will always be super grateful.
Greetings to Catherine if you're watching us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great experience. When you're young in general and you're studying, if someone offers you that opportunity to study abroad, to even for a short period live abroad, that's a great eye-opener in the beginning, because you don't need to send a CV, you don't need to start from scratch. You know, it's just a period of time.
Exactly.
And everything's kind of covered for you, right? Because you're young.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it's also super important to say that I was studying in a public school. I earned this opportunity thanks to my grades, so I really put the work on studying, but by no means I come from a super rich family or anything at all. It was really grit and good grades that took me to this first opportunity.
That's a good point that you're bringing up, because it's a false belief that everyone who moves abroad is because they have expensive educations, expensive expat programs, or just because they have all the VIP connections outside, which is not true. In your case, it was thanks to your grades and thanks to your curiosity, let's say. I mean, also you need to have that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to be able to take the chance, and luck plays a role, of course.
Yes.
But for sure, it's not only money. Also, in my case, I studied in a public high school, public university, and I decided I wanted to work abroad. But I'm not coming from a rich family either. Good point. All right, so that was your first experience abroad, but studying. And if we talk about working, why did you want to work abroad?
I mean, the first time I worked abroad, if you can consider internship as the first step into career.
Yes.
I did it in the Netherlands with Greenpeace International. I did this internship in social media. And I think the thing that really drove me was again, curiosity, but also, I don't know, for me it was super intellectually stimulating to be abroad, to gather international career experience. This had always been super important for me. I don't know why. I think really being abroad brings you so much knowledge, not only professional but also personal. And I guess that's why I did my first internship abroad.
That's a great explanation. Yeah, indeed, moving abroad gives you a lot. Like, we cannot even summarize now in, in this podcast, but yes. So your first experience working abroad, I think you mentioned, for Greenpeace.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam?
Yeah. There they have the headquarters.
All right.
So it was really cool.
Okay, so you were at that moment in Spain and you applied to move to the Netherlands.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And how was that process? That application process? How did you find the job?
Okay, so I had this friend and she had already done that kind of internship. I mean, not in communications, in policy inside Greenpeace International. But she was the one that knew that I was studying journalism. And she told me, hey, like they have opened this position, maybe you could apply. So I did it because I had always been super passionate about climate action and environment. And I went to the website. I researched so much information about Greenpeace in order to write my cover letter, really tailor my CV, which at the time was quite short because, I mean, I was 21 or 20.
Yes.
So, I really worked a lot on my application. And then I guess also to have someone that had already been at Greenpeace and that I knew could give a good word about me. I think at the end, this also really helps a lot to bring credibility to my candidacy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Networking is one of the best ways to get a job. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And regarding that application, do you think you had something special that helped you during the application process?
Yeah, I think, the previous year, I was studying for a year in the US. And during these studies, I really focused my journalism towards environment. So every, a small documentary that I had to do for my studies, I was doing it for climate or climate-related topics. So I could actually use these previous projects for my application.
Okay. So even though you didn't have work experience, you did have, I don't know how to call it, study experience or hobby experience?
Exactly. Yes. So I think that was really important, like not only write your cover letter, but also show what you could do.
Okay, so they saw you were living, like they say in America, I think you walk the walk.
Exactly.
Right? So okay. So they saw it was not just a CV, but you actually live what you say and you truly believe in that. That's a good point. All right. So you used your previous experience, even though it was not work experience, to get this job.
Yeah.
And regarding languages, did you have any specific language level in Dutch, in this case in the Netherlands, or English?
Yeah, I did the, I think, IELTS test, and I got the B2. So English was definitely important for both, like studying abroad and also getting this internship. Otherwise, without the language, impossible.
Yeah, I guess you cannot work in Spanish.
No, unfortunately not.
All right. Okay, cool. So that's how you got your first internship, your first work experience abroad. And that was for how long?
6 months. And then COVID came. So I was lucky.
Lucky or unlucky, yeah. But you see the bottle half full.
Yes.
All right. So how was those 6 months in the Netherlands?
It was amazing. I mean, I had never imagined myself in the Netherlands. Like, it was really not a country that appealed to me before. But after this experience, I completely fell in love with Amsterdam. It's such a magical city. I love the streets. It's a super walkable city. You can go everywhere also with your bike. And I really enjoyed my time there. And I think the key ingredient for that, for this love for the city, was actually the people, and particularly the people I was working with. when you live abroad, like your colleagues become your family. And in this case, I was super lucky.
Was it an international team or was it mainly Dutch?
International team. So we had people like from Germany, from Brazil, from Spain as well, from France. Mainly Europe, because of course it was easier for people to work in the Netherlands being European than maybe being from, I don't know, super far away where you need visas to. But it was very international team still. That
helps, yeah. When you have an international team, everybody understands what's like being abroad.
Exactly.
And what's like having 0 friends and what's like starting from scratch.
Yes.
I see. Good. So it sounds like a good experience for you. Would you have any tips for someone that wants to move to the Netherlands? Starting from scratch, looking for a job, etc.
I guess just the same advices that I would give for any other country. I think at least write a good CV, super tailored to the job you are applying to. Write a cover letter. For that cover letter, really immerse yourself in the world of the company you are applying to, like what is their work culture, I don't know, what are their goals for the next year, what's their essence as a company or organization, and then really use that information for writing your motivation, why you want to work there, and especially what you can bring that other candidates cannot.
That's a good tip. Motivation letters are a lot of times overseen, or people don't really pay attention to them. It's like, I don't care about a cover letter, a motivation letter. But it's your opportunity to stand out. If you truly like that position, if you truly like that company, it's like the best opportunity for you.
Yes.
To truly show that you are the one for that position. Good. So after that, you said COVID came. What did you do after?
After, I actually had to do my thesis. So I used COVID to grad my thesis. And then after that, I graduated. And once I graduated, I moved to the next country.
Which was?
Was Denmark.
Denmark, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came back to Spain, graduated, and you decided that the next country was going to be Denmark.
Yes.
Can I ask why?
Yeah, because my boyfriend at the time, he got a scholarship to study in Denmark, his master's, and therefore we went to Denmark. But not only because of him, but also I was always super passionate about Scandinavian culture. And actually Denmark is always one of the top happiest countries in the world. And I was super intrigued by, how do the Danish live? So that's what took me to Denmark.
Okay. And how did you find it? Did you find that the Danish were happier or not?
Yeah, they were happy. They are definitely a country that I really admire. I really love to read about Hygge, which is this very cozy way of living in a luxurious yet simple and very wholesome way of living without really having to have a Porsche at the door of your home.
All right. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It's like hippie life or...
not hippie life, but they really know how to do this art of slow living. Like preparing your coffee, you are focused on your coffee, you don't think about any other things. You are in the present, you are in the moment.
Good stuff. I like it. All right. So how did you manage to get a job in a country like that?
I have to say this was tough because when I moved to Copenhagen, I had no job. Like I was there.
So you moved before having a job?
Exactly. I moved there. My ex-boyfriend, he knew he was going to study there with this scholarship, but I had no income. I had just savings. And of course, super important if you can gather savings before moving abroad, because that gives you a buffer to find a job. It took me, I think, like 3-4 weeks to find my job. And
that's quick.
Yeah, that was quite quick. That was quite quick. It was very small company. When I mean small company is like 2 people company. So coming from Greenpeace, where maybe you are 1,000 people, to 2 people company, That was a big difference with its pros and its cons. But yeah.
And that company was also in the environmental, I don't know how you say, climate change industry?
Actually it was in the luxury travel industry. So it was more like...
So it's like the opposite. You were working for the enemy.
It was completely the opposite. Exactly. And that's why I guess nowadays I'm back in climate change topic.
You were on the inside, trying to change things from the inside.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
And how did you get that job?
Through LinkedIn. I applied. It was a social media position in a small travel agency. And because I had done my internship at Greenpeace International in social media as well, I could use that experience to sell myself to this other job in Denmark.
That application process must have been amazing, right? Okay, you work for Greenpeace. What do you think about us flying private jets?
No, it was not that level of luxury.
Okay.
But it was super easy. Because, I mean, in Greenpeace, I was supporting a team of 2 people managing an account of maybe 4 million followers on Instagram. And this travel agency had like 40K followers. So it was really impressive, I guess, for them that I was helping manage such a big account. And they thought I could also help them with their smaller account.
All right.
So I guess that was what gave me leverage. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. And in terms of preparing the application, preparing your CV for the Danish market, was there something specific that you needed to do?
Not really. I followed the same strategy. CV, cover letter, and just saying I'm available as of next day. So also, I guess, let's maybe also mention one of the elephants in the room. Many people, they see expats as people they can pay less than national people. So I guess that can also give you leverage to a certain extent. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but I say maybe it's a window for opportunities abroad. And maybe this helped me as well.
It is, yeah. It's a good point. And thank you for bringing this up. I think it happens everywhere. It's not only in Denmark or not only in Spain, everywhere. An expat, an immigrant is an opportunity to pay less because it makes sense at the same time because you're new to that country, you don't know how much they're paying, and for you, normally it's already a higher salary than the country you're coming from.
Exactly.
So you would take it.
But I have to say also in that moment, I was really not valuing that much money. I was okay paid for my beginning of my 20s. But what I valued a lot was actually how many skills I could earn through that job. And I really gained a lot of experience through that. So.
Yeah, money is not everything.
No.
Absolutely. You need to take a lot of things into account.
Yes.
Also flexibility. Like, for example, today, I think 10 years ago, home office was not a thing. But today, if you are to get a new job, you are considering that. Me, at least, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And okay, so that's how you entered into the Danish job market. And before we go into the next point, I think these kind of jobs where they pay you maybe a bit less of what's the standard in the market are actually good because you are just arriving into the country, you need it, you take it. You cannot say they're paying you an unfair wage. Yeah. You just started and you take it because you need it. And only then you can use it as a bridge and then get a better job. But, for example, for people who are looking for a job abroad now, I wouldn't focus too much on the money. I would focus on having the right opportunity, use that as a transition, and then you can later on find something better that is more according to the market.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I think there are so many people that want to move abroad, and they ask me, like, how do I do it? And I always say the same, like, dream to reach the stars, like dream to reach your main goal. I don't know if it's like to be an event manager like me. Well, try to reach that. Put the time and the energy in finding the opportunities or creating your own opportunities. But if the first time that you move abroad, you don't get this super top dream, then continue moving forward. Maybe it's not something really your dream position, but it's something related to that. And then from that, you can start building network and, you know.
Exactly. And it's a transition. Like you said, use it as a leverage for the next one. That's it. Good. And how long was that position in Denmark?
That was 1 year.
Okay, 1 full year. Did you have another position after that in Denmark?
No, after that I moved back to Spain to study my master's.
Okay, so you were doing study Spain, work abroad. Again, study Spain, work abroad, and again, go back to study.
Exactly.
to Spain.
And I think, it's good that you see this pattern, because I think it's very different to move abroad and then know that at some point you're coming back than rather maybe really moving abroad without the thought that you're going to go back. During my studies or my internships abroad or in Denmark, I knew I was going to return to Spain. But in the case of Switzerland, I'm here already for 3 years. I don't see the time when I'm coming back. And I think it's a different jump.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people, when they move abroad, they have a specific period of time that they want to be abroad, to build CV, to earn more money, whatever, for personal reasons, and then they want to move back, as you said. So they have this finish line that they will cross, and then they will come back.
Yes.
But at the same point, I've met so many people that had this finish line, and the finish line keeps going on and on and on, and they never go back, like me, for example. Initially, I moved abroad to gain international experience for 2 years, and then I would be back in Spain. But I think once you try, if you really like it, if your experience was good, it's like the world is too big to go back and stay in the same place forever. At least for me, this is how I see it. So talking about you came back to Spain, you studied your master's, and then you moved to Switzerland.
Yes.
Why Switzerland?
Why Switzerland? Because it's a fact that Switzerland is one of the best paying countries in Europe. And for me, I had clear that I wanted both amazing career opportunities and also earn money. And actually, if you are willing to move abroad and you have the desire to move abroad, it can definitely be a cheat code. Because maybe you move to a country that for the same time of hours that you put into work, you earn more and you can save more and you can maybe have even a higher quality of life. So if you're okay with missing your family, with missing your friends, even if it's for a period of time, moving abroad can actually give you lots of leverage to maybe your dream life one day.
Mm-hmm. All right. And talking about Switzerland, everybody knows how difficult it is to get into the job market. Was it also difficult for you?
I cannot say it was difficult. I think I spent just like 1.5 months.
Wow, that's record time.
I really put a lot of work. My philosophy is finding a job is a job. So if you are without any job at the moment, your only job is to find a job.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was not tough, but I guess it was mainly because I had already previous experience. I had already international experience, and I was not afraid of just taking this step and moving, even though I had no job. Like, I was willing to put my savings into coming here. And actually, when I moved here, the next day I had my 3rd interview with the company I work for now.
Okay.
So I didn't know if I was actually going to get the job or not, but I took the chance on me and it worked. So everything worked perfectly.
That's very brave of you. So you moved twice without having a job to a new country.
True. Yes.
That's really brave and risky.
2 countries that I had never been to. Like, I had never been to the Netherlands. I had never been to Denmark. I had never been to Switzerland when I decided to move. So, I guess it's this adventurous spirit at the end.
It is. It must be. Because moving to a country you've never been, nowadays, okay, you can check on social media, but still, until you're not living there, you truly don't grasp what's the reality of that new country. And so talking about that interview and application process, how did you prepare for this application process? Did you have to do anything special?
Okay, maybe it's important to say that when I was looking for jobs in Switzerland, of course, I went to LinkedIn, I applied for jobs, I wrote my cover letters, as always. But in this very particular case, what was special, I think, is that there was no job opening at my company. Like, there was this small section that it said spontaneous application. And in these spontaneous applications, you usually need to, again, introduce yourself, explain your experience and what you can bring to the table to this particular company and why you want to be working for them. And I just wrote my application, and the next day they called me. And
no way.
Yeah.
I've always thought this section was useless.
No, it's not useless at all. Really, really. So if there is no job opening in the company you are dreaming about, take the chance, write an email, do your best, and see what happens.
Wow. So give us a bit more details on what did you write on that section?
It's top secret.
How that happened?
I don't know. I actually applied for a sales job position because in Madrid during my master's I was working as a sales manager as well in a small company, and therefore I thought, okay, my biggest chance for getting a job in this company is actually using my previous experience as sales manager. So I applied for the commercial team, but then they really saw that I had studied journalism and advertising, so they thought, no, this girl should maybe come to the communications team. And actually it was not public, but someone was going to go maternity leave. So it was perfect timing, my application and this personal case of a colleague. And then I got my contract. It was first like a temporary contract. I think it was 9 months. And after these 9 months, I worked my best. Like, I did my best. Well, I always do my best, but or try. And after these 9 months, they extended my contract to 3-4 more months. And after this, I think again they extended it. And then last year I got my long-term contract, so unlimited contract. So it was really not first contract, the dream agreement, you know? So you need to also show your value, and then opportunities come to you.
Yeah, and your commitment. I mean, for you, same as we were discussing in the beginning, you can have a bit of luck. Luck plays a role, but you also need to be prepared to receive that luck. Once I read something about the different types of luck, and the first one is the luck that you search. So, for example, you had luck that they had something cooking that they didn't have published before, but how did you find it? You found it because you applied in this spontaneous application. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had that luck. So that's the luck you search for. And also the one that you worked, because a lot of people don't take short-term contracts because they say, nah, I'm not going to move for this country for 6 months or for 9 months. What they don't know is that a lot of times these opportunities get extended. If you do a good job, if they are happy with you, why not extend you? If you're solving problems for that company, which problem would not like to have someone that solves problems?
Yes.
So, I think your example is a good example for people that are wondering, should I take this? Should I not? Like, low salary, 9 months, and go, take it. That's your opportunity.
And it's not low salary. I mean, let's still have in mind that we are in Switzerland. So already by the fact of moving from Spain to Switzerland, that's a big gap.
Yes.
That's already a big advancement.
Yeah. All right. So that was your experience here in Switzerland. How did you get the job, etc.? And one point that we didn't touch, in the Dutch job market, you directly applied to the Greenpeace job site. But for example, in Denmark, do you recommend any job platforms or any job sites where you were looking for?
Not that I remember particularly important.
Okay. And in Switzerland?
LinkedIn as well.
LinkedIn.
No. Yes.
Plain LinkedIn. All right.
But also I really went into its website, and if there was no job opening, I did the same. Like, I just reached out to the general email or really research the person in charge of the communications department, and then reach one-on-one via LinkedIn, or you can always find people's emails on the internet.
I wanted to ask you about that point. If you did any kind of networking before this spontaneous application?
No, I mean, I had just moved to Switzerland, and I was lucky that the next day I did my interview and then it worked out. But otherwise, I would have really invested more time trying to connect with people in person.
Okay. And that was it for Switzerland. Then we get into more country-related questions. So for the Netherlands, you already told me what was your experience. And for Denmark, you kind of told me about this hygge.
Yeah.
And that was the best part about it. What was the worst?
The worst. I mean, I have to say that I guess the worst was career-wise or professional life-wise was that it was such a small company that didn't have, for instance, the benefits that a big company has. For instance, a very powerful HR department, let's say, that can really help you with certain topics as an expat. I guess I was very naive when I went the first times moving abroad. Mm-hmm. And this can also put you maybe in not so ideal scenarios that you somehow need to overcome. So that really also helps you mature much faster. Because maybe you are in a small company, you need to renegotiate your salary, you need to negotiate your work agreement, and you are in your 20s, in your early 20s. Yeah. You don't really have maybe support from HR or things like this, so it's really a family business, and this can also, I would not recommend to start in such a small business when you're moving abroad and being young, I think.
Yeah, I think I agree as well, yeah. And if we talk about the country itself, not job related, what was the best and the worst for you about the country? So if someone is thinking of moving to Denmark.
Okay. Denmark, I personally would not move again. I think, never say never, but it was super dark. Winter super dark. I mean, summers can be wonderful, but winter was too much. As a Spanish person, too much. And the best, the pastries. And how and how beautiful the city is also.
Copenhagen, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now about Switzerland.
What I like and dislike?
Yeah.
I like, of course, career opportunities, salary. I like the wonderful landscapes. Like, every time I go hiking, I'm like, wow, I'm so privileged to be here. Like, there are people that dream their whole life about seeing these mountains, and I can just take a train and be there in 1 hour. And yeah, I think the worst is that you can be here and have such a wonderful life that some people consider Switzerland a golden cage, because you come here, you have all the opportunities, all the benefits that the first world can provide. It's tough to maybe go back to the south of Europe.
To anywhere in the world, I would say.
Or anyway, yeah, exactly, true. Yeah, I think that's the worst.
I think so. Which is also not a bad one.
Exactly.
The worst thing about it is not even bad. But
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It can be a golden cage, indeed, where you get too comfortable and nothing is appealing outside of Switzerland anymore. Yeah. All right. And if we talk about yourself as a person, how has living abroad changed how you see yourself? How do you think it has shaped your personality?
I think I might have a more international point of view on certain topics. I can be more confident of myself thanks to living abroad, having to solve problems by yourself, not having maybe necessarily anybody there to support you. Learning also how to be alone by yourself and being happy and content with that. How to nurture friendships out of nowhere and create your small family. And of course, I don't know, just be grateful for all the opportunities that I have had and how privileged I am. And that's all.
That's a good summary. And if you had to convince someone that is still doubting of moving abroad, what would you say to convince?
I think I would not try to convince the person, because I think also many people idealize what living abroad is. And you definitely need to be realistic that there are many other issues when moving abroad. You will be alone, you will not have your family, you will not have your friends. Maybe you lose certain days that are special. So you need to make more effort to also be present.
So you would discourage someone that is doubting?
I will not discourage, but I just want to bring the point that it's not for everyone. And you don't need to move abroad in order to be successful. I mean, there are also people having amazing lives in Spain, and for them, just being in their hometown, being close to their family is already a success in life. But if I would need to convince somebody, then I would say that once you do it, you are never again the same. Like, you gain so many skills, you learn who you are, and of course, in the market, you also gain lots of things that other people cannot bring.
Yeah, it will complete you as a person in both professional and personal side. Okay, and if you look back, is there anything you would have done differently?
No, I don't think so. Like, I think every path that I have followed, I don't know, like, I just trusted life, took it, and somehow it just created a beautiful story if I look back. So I would not change anything.
Nice. I like it.
Yes. I mean, of course, I also have to say that not every single time I applied for things worked out. My dream had always been to move to New York to do an internship there, and it did not happen. But thanks to this not happening, I could have these other amazing experiences that otherwise I would have never had. So I guess just trust yourself, trust life, and make the best out of what happens.
Would you still like to do it? New York?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Trust life.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this conversation, follow me and share it with someone who wants to move abroad. And if you are on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, please like and rate the show with 5 stars. It really helps me a lot more than you think. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one.